Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why people don't change who they are. Now, this is really important because there's been a lot of books written on people trying to change other people in relationships. And what I've learned over the years, and through all the relationships that I've had, women I've dated, and had long-term relationships with, is like, especially in the beginning when you start dating somebody and you're really attracted to them, they're really attracted to you, and you have a great time together. It's 6 months, a year down the road after you've been together, what often starts to happen is, like, once the infatuation wears off, the newness wears off, and you've been together for a long period of time, then both people at that point are usually comfortable being themselves. And it's interesting because in the beginning of a relationship, people are always focused on what they like about the other person. But towards the end of a relationship, or when the breakup happens, they tend to be focused more on what they don't like about the other person. And what's interesting is, like, we as human beings, when we don't like something about another person and we wish they would change that, or we wish they would change that weird idiosyncrasy that we can't fucking stand about them, we suffer because we want them to be other than they are. And if you are approaching your relationships with the perspective that this person needs to change who they are, or they need to show up in a different way so I don't feel offended, or I don't feel uncomfortable, or they don't make me unhappy, then you're always going to be miserable with them, and you're always going to be disappointed because the other person is never going to live up to your expectations. I'll give an example, like looking at my own family. Like, my mother was very determined. She took care of things. She ran the household. There was always food in the fridge. She took care of those things always. But like my dad, on the other hand, he was like the exact opposite. He was kind of lazy. Shit would break, and he just never would fix things. And I was more like my mother in that respect. If something broke, I'd go and I'd fix it and I'd take care of it. And like my younger brother, he's a lot like my dad. It's like something breaks in his car and it just fucking stays that way for months and months at a time. And, that kind of thing, just fucking drives me, out of my mind. Like, I remember as a kid growing up, my brother would open the cabinets and in the kitchen, leave the doors open. He'd make himself a sandwich. He'd leave the bread undone, just completely open bread, fresh bread just laying all over the counter. The peanut butter jar would be on the counter, top off, with the knife with all the peanut butter just laid on the counter, so it's like run all over the place. And all the cabinet doors would be. It's like, it fucking drove me absolutely bananas. And it's funny, like when I'm around my dad or I'm over at his place, it's like he's the same way, and he's never going to change. And sometimes I catch myself getting really fucking pissed off and irritated about it. But it's like, he's 63 years old, and he's been doing that his whole life, and he ain't going to fucking change. He's not going to be like me. He's not going to be the type of person that takes care of all little details right away. And, I may be annoying him because I always take care of things. And it's like when you're in a relationship and you're dating, I'll give you an example from like women I've dated in the past. I've dated women that are very beautiful, but they never worked out. They never took care of themselves. They never went to the gym, even though they just physically were born with great bodies and great health. They didn't take care of their bodies. And I'm someone that's going to the gym, taking care of myself, and they're not somebody that would do that. That tended to piss me off and get irritated. I mean, at first it didn't bother me. But, when you're together with somebody for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, then those kind of things really start to fucking grate on your nerves. And so that's why it's important when you start dating somebody to remain objective and not go into the relationship and be just completely blinded by your interest level. Because what happens is you get into a relationship, and then 6 months, a year down the road, maybe you're living together, or maybe even you got married, and you realize, I can't fucking stand this person. They're driving me absolutely bananas. And if the only thing you can do is you can accept them and love them for who they are, or as they are, or you can leave the relationship and go find somebody who is more like what you want. And when you look at other people that you know in your own life, I mean, you figure, hey, our divorce rate's 50% or higher, actually. And then the rest, you got maybe 3% of the people out there that have great relationships, and then the rest of them are kind of at different stages of mediocrity and not being happy. And so they just go along with it because they're just simply not miserable enough to do anything about it. And I got an email here from a guy who's dating a gal, and he says she's very loyal to him and everything, but she's a very free-spirited person, and she's also bisexual, and she has friends that are swingers, and so they like to hang out and have parties where everybody's naked, and you got a bunch of men and women sitting in a hot tub together, and just wife swapping going on, all kinds of other stuff. And so this particular guy, he's a little more conservative, and so these things really piss him off or irritate him about his girlfriend. And his thinking is kind of like, okay, I got to change her. I got to stop her from being this way because I really don't like it. These people that she hangs out with don't share the same values that I do. And so he says, I've been dating this girl for about 2 months, and we connect on a lot of levels. She lives in the country, and the drive is about an hour from my place, and we both have memorable times together. The part that is bothering me right now is that she hangs out with swingers and bisexual women. She is loyal, and I have the confidence to trust her around this group. She does not participate in these sexual festivals, but the influence is evident. She does things like getting naked in a hot tub with men and women, but nothing happens. The other instance was her married friend's husband kissed her on the lips. This guy's a swinger. And then this guy whacked her on the ass. And her friends commented at the time whether or not that she was sleeping with this guy, but she denied that they were sleeping together. She still hangs out with these individuals. Overall, this group of friends is bothering me because it doesn't fit my values. I'm confident in the way I look, and I thank my good European genetics. There are tons of women out there, and I don't want any complicated relationship. In all, I did not argue or react to any of these sexual comments, but it's not what I want in a girlfriend if this continues. I don't want other men to see my girlfriend naked or influence her with this messed up sexual crap. Any advice would be helpful. And what I would say to you is, you can't expect this girl that you just met and you've only been dating for 2 months to completely change who she is, to completely divorce herself from her friends and the lifestyle that she's used to. Because obviously she hangs out with these people and she's comfortable with them in this lifestyle, but obviously you're not. And if you do get her, you give her an ultimatum, say you either change and you disown these people in your life, or I'm out of here. She may be submissive and say, okay, then I won't hang out with them and I'll end all these friendships that I've had for a long period of time. But at some point, she's going to start to resent that. And she may even try to get back at you with saying, you know what, you got these people in your life that I don't fucking like and they piss me off. And what happens is if you are going to constantly get irritated at her and her lifestyle, you got a choice. You can either love her as the way she is and accept her the way she is, or you can end the relationship and go find somebody who has more conservative values like you. Because it's kind of selfish on your part to expect that she should change in order for you to not feel comfortable. I mean, the bottom line is she was like this before she even knew who you were and before you met her. So how can you expect, where you only known her 2 months, for her to change who she is so you don't feel uncomfortable or pissed off at her because of the lifestyle she leads? And like I said, when two people are in a relationship together, for like the first 90 days, the first 3 months in essence, they can hide who they really are. But after you've been with somebody for 90 days, I mean, both people, the real you comes out and you can't help it just because you get comfortable with each other and you don't feel any remorse or any hesitation with being who you really are. And so in this particular case, I mean, you basically got a choice. You can either love her the way she is, but if you try to change her, I mean, she may go along with it for a while, but deep down she's going to resent it and she's going to get pissed off at it because she's going to miss her friends. She's going to miss these people that it sounds like she's known them for quite some period of time. And so you either can accept and love her as she is, and if you don't, you're going to suffer in the relationship and you're not going to be happy and you're going to make both of you miserable. So if I were you, I would seriously consider, if, like you say, this girl and her peer group, their values are not aligned with yours. You can't expect her to change to become something that she's not in order to make you happy. Because you're going to end up in the long run making the both of you miserable if you go that route. So you can either accept her and love her the way she is, or leave the relationship and go find somebody who shares the same kind of conservative values and doesn't have those kinds of friends at all in your life. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibiya toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website. Click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibiya toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs maximum detailing your situation or your questions, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of email from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously got to concentrate on their emails first, but be patient and I will get back with you. And if you want to talk to me right away so I can help you with a specific challenge or situation you're having, then go to my website, click the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session with yours truly. And I will talk to you soon.